doing anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna open yours to make sure yours is doing something. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
refresh mine now. Of
I,
course,
I
you
really
know.
don't know why Twitch doesn't want to show me my video preview. That's super annoying.
Yeah, well, what do you do? Um, yeah, really, right? That's like our only option. There we go. Yes, that one. I want that one. Yay! Yay, Minecraft! Yay! Yay,
Oh,
Minecraft!
sorry. I'm the video preview is working. Sweet.
I think you're playing too. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yay, Minecraft! Yay! All right.
Woo!
Now that all the technical difficulties are out of the way,
Minor technical difficulties though they were.
minor,
Much
very
less
minor.
major than our
Always,
much less
always.
major than our usual difficulties.
Right. Oh my God, we have
So much
so
less major.
many.
I know
Um,
it's surprising.
right? Like, I don't
Even on
know.
talk show too.
Right. It's always on our talk show day. It's never, oh, well, I'm gonna, you know, monkey around and have like a actual testing day and nothing goes wrong. As soon as
Right.
I want to actually stream,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, no,
Get out of luck.
I am not gonna work for you.
No for you.
No for you.
No for you.
So, anyway, I know we got a decent amount of stuff to cover today. There's
Yeah,
some
we do.
pretty big-ish releases and newses today. The biggest thing for me that I saw was, and I actually watched a majority of a stream of it today, but the DLC 4.
RTLC?
No, that doesn't. Well, yeah, I did not watch any of that. Not a lot of.
Oh, the one for Black Ops.
Yeah, the one for Black Ops. And I know and I will be first to admit, I have always talked shit about Black Ops. I mean, after Modern Warfare like 2, it just was the same thing over and over.
And it already was the same thing over and
Well,
over.
yeah,
It just used to be better at disguising it.
but the new zombies that they got in Black Ops 3, holy shit, it was
Yeah?
pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. So
Alright.
it was really cool to watch. I mean, like in-depth shit. Like, I mean, I don't want to say necessarily like a story mode per se, but like you had,
Meat to it.
yeah, it was unique. Like, it was really cool to watch. Especially the people that I were watching were really good at it. So then obviously it's just makes it
That
easier.
helps.
But yeah, that dropped at noon Eastern, so I think 11 o'clock our time. So
Yeah.
it was cool to watch. But yeah, it looks really cool. You know, yay zombies, I guess. I've always liked the zombie mode. It got to a point where it was like, oh, we're doing this again, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I almost just die around 8 and give up.
right. Well,
I
and
never fucking find a decent gun.
oh, it was crazy watching these guys because I mean, they were taking like we're talking like 15, 20 minutes per wave. Like
Oh man.
they would get it done, obviously, and then they would have there was four of them in the group, and one of them, his sole job after all but one of the zombies was done was just to run around with the one zombie chasing them. Well, the rest of them
While they board everything up and all that.
board everything up, like, and that's the thing, like, there's like I don't want to say like secrets, but there's like extras that you can do. So they would go kind of like looking for packages in Payday. Like
Right.
you kind of just ran around and looked and
See
did
what you found.
did random shit. So I mean, I think when the DLC dropped, they were on wave 3 after an hour.
Wow.
Like they were checking every nook and cranny on this new map, and it was a no stone unturned kind of checking. It was crazy.
No kidding.
But I mean, they were just massive amounts of points, and I mean, they were unlocking. I think they had every door unlocked by the time they got through Wave 2.
Just unlocking shit left and right.
Yeah. Thank you. I love you.
Hi,
So,
Amanda.
Penguin says hi. But yeah, it was really cool. So, I thought that was pretty big. And then, obviously, the Ark. Now,
Now that
this
oh, I have I have a few words for this.
this is an interesting, very interesting topic, and I already know that this is going to be very controversial.
Well,
So
you already know how I feel about the free release shit.
Yeah. So Ark, obviously, if you've never played it, it is I would say a Minecraft-esque game with what you could consider better graphics, depending on how you look at it.
Way worse than Minecraft.
Okay, more up to date.
Well, no, I got it. I tried it, and I hated it.
Well, I guess not 8-bit. Then how about that?
Even okay, yeah, but given even the not 8-bit, I don't care about the 8-bit. That's whatever. That's just how it is. It doesn't look great. It looks okay. I don't know. It didn't look as good as a world like that I would expect. I guess.
I will say it
super duper basic when you build it.
See, I will say the biggest thing for me that I noticed, I have not played it. I haven't even. There's not, like I said, there's not a lot of people streaming that game.
It also ran like absolute dog shit
when it first was released. I know it is running a lot better now.
Okay.
But biggest thing for me was a lot of the. I mean, you have to take reviews with a grain of salt. I mean, there are people out there that have bashed Minecraft in reviews. I mean, come on.
Every game gets its bad reviews.
Yeah,
That's the way it is.
but I mean, on average, I think their average is like 3.3 out of 5.
Wow.
That's not good.
No.
Like,
see, here's my biggest problem with it. Props for trying to push out new content and everything. The game is still in its early stage.
No.
A full fucking game.
Well, and see,
Like alpha phase or whatever.
not anymore. That's where this is becoming even a bigger issue. Is at least from what I read this today, after, because I was shocked, because yes, I thought it was still a early access, beta, whatever you want to call it, game. And after I was like, what? They have a DLC for this game? Like, that seems.
Nope, it is still listed as an early
Is
access
it?
game. Yes, it is still listed. I'm checking right now. And
That's
my
weird.
God, that grinds my gears.
Okay, so I agree. I completely agree then, because I don't know, maybe it was.
You haven't even finished the fucking game that you're releasing a DLC for? Are you
Now,
kidding me?
wait. They are releasing a paid DLC.
Yes.
Yes. Now the game itself is what, $29.99 now?
Yeah.
It's on sale, I think, for like 17% off right now. But
yeah, it's listed at $19.99.
okay, so the game is on sale. The base game is on sale for $19.99. The DLC. Oh, you're looking at the DLC. I was gonna say, yeah, the DLC is $19.99.
I didn't even look at the DLC.
I know. Well,
$19.99.
The DLC is $19.99.
Fucking Christ.
So, and I know we've talked about our views on DLC for certain games and such, and this is definitely one of those that falls under that category of no. Like, you don't be asking me to pay more for a game that is still considered in its early phases.
Right. At most, it could be in beta phase because it's still early access.
Exactly.
Before it hits.
And I think my absolute biggest problem with this is that why are you spending money and development time on a DLC when you can't even say that your game is fully developed yet?
Right. You haven't even. You're jumping to step D when you're still on number 1.
Yeah, exactly. You're not even in the alphabet yet.
Right. You're not even using the right fucking piece of paper to start with.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. So, and I knew this was going to be a fun little subject to talk about, because, I mean, we've already
still being a little bit of an open wound.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we've already talked about how DLC in general and stuff like that, and I read that today and I was like, I had to check, and I don't remember, I didn't see it on Steam. Like, I saw the game on Steam, and yes, I did see that it was an early access, but somewhere else said that it wasn't. That's why it was weird to me. Or maybe it was the article I was reading when I was talking about the release date of the DLC. I don't remember. But either way, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, so, and I know...
Johnny told me about it yesterday. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
So, I mean... Man, I don't know. I can't even...
Oh, he's in my... Yes, we are talking about Ark, Johnny.
Yeah, so... I don't know. Like... I don't know how you. I don't know how you do that as a development company. Like, I just don't. You've already taken flack for this game to begin with. I mean,
So much.
a lot. Like, why?
I wanted to like that game. I was like, Minecraft with dinosaurs?
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
Like, hell motherfucking yeah, Minecraft with dinosaurs, but no.
Yeah, it sorely disappointed. Absolutely sorely disappointed.
I was more disappointed in Ark than I was in No Man's Sky, and I paid $60 for No Man's Sky.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot in recent times.
Okay. So you know how Lake Michigan and all them are not saltwater?
Yes.
Every time I go into them, they will be saltwater.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking salty.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, but yeah. So if anyone is interested, they did release DLC for Ark. As you can tell, we are not particularly fans of it. But
and Johnny also says if they had optimized the damn game first, I wouldn't give it so much shit.
well, exactly. That's what we're talking. That's exactly what we're saying.
It plays and runs like dog shit.
Yeah. You can't. You can't take time to create a DLC for a game that is not running fully correctly. Like,
they're not even polishing a turd because polishing a turd is possible.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know how a development company can do that and expect people. And granted, there are still going to be people that pay for it because there are people out there like, oh my God, Ark, it's the best game in the world.
Every game's got its fan club.
It's true. So I mean. But
the question is how loyal will that fan club stay? And I doubt that this is going to have any staying power.
Yeah.
I bet it's going to cause more backlash than they had any inkling of.
I agree.
Oh, fuck.
I agree. Yeah, I think that they're going to be like, here, we pushed out the DLC that you guys wanted. And then everyone's going to be like, no, we wanted the full fucking game to be fixed and running correctly. Like, we never said anything about DLC. What are you fucking talking about?
Nobody ever says anything about DLC.
No.
Nobody ever wants DLC. Just put it in the goddamn game.
Well, exactly.
Except for maybe Payday. I'm okay with those because they're reasonably priced.
Yes, they are very reasonably priced. So we're okay with that. Yeah, don't make me pay $19.99 for DLC for a $30 game and expect me to not be displeased about it. Sorry, but the DLC should not be 2/3 of the cost of the actual game.
No, the DLC at most should be 25% of the game. That's my personal line right there.
I'd say that's valid.
The game.
I'd say that's valid. Absolutely. Absolutely a valid number. I think that is absolutely fair.
I'm partially pulling it out of my ass, but I'm also going with, older games were traditionally released, and that was it.
Oh, yeah?
You didn't get updates, you didn't get DLCs. If it was broken, it was just broken. But it was, 99.9% complete, and those bugs were just random, you happen to jump on a pumpkin and slash the edge of it with a sword while you're attacking a spider that's midair, and it glitches out or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Random, unforeseen shit that has a 1 in a million chance of happening.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they can ask that of people, but they do. So.
Yeah. I think it's going to turn out badly for them. I think it's going to.
Well, it has to.
It's going to scare away a lot of the perspectives, even.
Well, I think the review should do that alone. I mean, if you. Yeah. I know there are some people, and depending on the game and the company, I'm right up there with them. But some people are like, "Oh, this game, awesome! Don't read the reviews." Like this, okay, dinosaurs with or Minecraft with dinosaurs. Holy crap! Like, it can't be that bad. Oh well, I mean, it can, but
it totally is.
But in your head, you're like, "Wow, that would be freaking awesome!" Like, this is what I've always wanted. And then it's not what you always wanted. It is very far from what you always wanted.
Mm-hmm. It's like the biggest letdown.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows, but I guess we'll see. We'll wait and see on the backlash. I will be interested just to see what kind of comes from it, and I know they're already talking about that there is backlash from it, but, I mean...
I'm surprised.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, really? You didn't think that was going to happen? Oh, all right. Well, Oh,
I'm surprised that they're surprised that there's backlash from it.
right. Like, oh, really you didn't think that was gonna happen, huh?
I got virtually no PR experience, and I could have told you that was gonna happen.
Right. I'm I am by no means any kind of public relations, and I'm gonna tell you that's
You,
gonna happen.
I mean, shit. It's almost common sense, or it should be.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like they say, common sense ain't that common anymore.
Oh, that's for sure. All right, so since we have beaten that to the death,
Yep.
also in other news, Battlefield 1 open beta will be closing the end of this week. Um, have watched. I wouldn't say I've watched any streamers play it. I have watched some glitch videos or gifs on Reddit that have popped up. They're pretty funny. Obviously, it's open beta, so that's going to happen. But there are some pretty.
Yeah.
But the game itself,
Seems to be working very well,
yeah,
and seems to have a very positive outlook.
yes, and which I'm excited for. I've always been a Battlefield fan, much more than a Call of Duty fan. So,
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I'm very excited to see what all comes from that in particular. But as far as I know, it looks solid so far.
I think it'll remain solid too. But the company that produces Battlefield has always been
Yeah.
solid.
Yep. And then the Telltale game Batman they just released a little while ago is getting its second episode September 20th. It will drop.
And those are the guys that made the Tales from the Borderlands and such, which are amazing
Yep,
games.
and they've done The Walking Dead and the Minecraft, and the Minecraft one is actually pretty good. It is more kid-based, I will say that. You can definitely tell as you're
Right.
playing, but I mean it's Minecraft, so it's kind of kid-based.
It's already kid-friendly kind of everything,
Yeah.
except for the fucking creepers.
You get creeped again?
Almost.
But yeah, so I haven't played the Batman one. I have heard some negative reviews on it that it was kind of boring,
Really?
but I think it's if you I don't know, you may have to like look at it in the right way because I think that
Well, it's not going to play like a Batman game, and that's what people are expecting.
exactly it's not going to play like your Arkham Knights.
No, when I got Tales from the Borderlands, I thought it was going to be, basically Borderlands and little, like, kind of vignettes. You're playing one quick story, you're moving on. But no, it's more like an interactive comic book almost.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So I think there was maybe some misconceptions of what it was actually going to end up being.
Yeah.
So there's that. But otherwise, I mean, like we already said, the company that makes the Telltale games is very good. And
Yeah.
otherwise, there hasn't really been a problem. So September 20th, you will be seeing that in the stores. And then I don't know if it's this week or exactly this day today, but somewhere in the either last 3 days or the upcoming 3 days, Sonic has turned 25.
I'm the same age as Sonic, apparently, then.
Right?
Slightly older.
Sonic is fucking old. And
Yeah.
Sonic
Yeah.
in the 90s looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really go back and look,
the
like...
best show.
What?
Sonic in the 90s was like the best show, except for the original Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you're talking about the TV show. I'm talking about...
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the games.
Oh!
Like, the actual Sonic
look
games.
great.
Oh.
They still look great, and they were just oodles of fun.
Well, oodles of fun. They look great now. They looked phenomenal back in the 90s. Like,
Yeah, they were ahead of their time.
by far. Like,
Sega did, the Genesis and stuff did have really, really good graphics.
it did. It really did.
Now that I think about it, playing Crazy Taxi and stuff, it looked way better than Star Fox or anything comparable.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. The graphic quality and the Sega was much higher than anything else at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Bar none.
Yeah, there just isn't a direct comparison that you can draw.
No, you can't. But so yeah, Sonic is 25. Getting old, getting up there. Still kicking though. Um, I do
Still
have a
getting them rings though.
getting them rings though. I do have a Genesis. I don't know if any of my connections for any of my other gaming equipment actually works with it. Otherwise, someday, maybe in the future, there could be a little Sanic stream. But for right now,
Yeah, we definitely stream some Sonic.
I don't know if that is possible. But
Um, I actually have a Sonic game for PC that I got as part of buying the Sonic and All Stars Racing
oh yeah, that's
when
right.
the company did their big ol' everything off sale.
Yeah. I might have that too. Actually, I'll have to see. But otherwise, yeah, we can. I can. I'm sure I can finagle some way to get it to work. So I'm not.
Oh, there's got to be some way for you to get your Genesis to work. Just
Yeah.
might require some really expensive cables that haven't existed since 1992.
Right. But yeah. But yeah, Sonic is 25 today. So happy birthday. Well, not sometime. The article that I read just said it was 25. It didn't. And so obviously, I don't think they're gonna put out an article like that unless it's within like the.
Very recent. So we'll call it belated happy birthday, maybe.
Sure. I mean, or early birthday. We just kind of don't know.
The attempt has been made, though.
Yeah. So yay, Sonic. So yeah, that's our high level of research on my part.
Yeah. Well, speaking of another old game that has been redone and is now getting a new one, is the Spotlight game, actually, Shadow Warrior.
Ah yes.
It was originally out on old consoles. I think it was a SNES game. Johnny, correct me here if I'm wrong. But it's a shitload of fun. My one and only issue with the game is that it doesn't have a mini map, and that's only because I have the sense of direction of a drunken kitten that's never been where it is before.
Your sense of direction is terrible.
I know, it's fucking atrocious. I don't know how it's so bad either. It just is. I try. I try so hard, and I'm like, nope, I've been here before, but I still have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah. The only game that you don't have a bad sense of direction is Borderlands, but that's because you have, almost 1,400 hours.
I've spent more time in Borderlands than I have driving to and from work.
Right?
Nope, Shadow Warrior was a 3D Realms game for PC DOS originally. Okay, thank you, Johnny. But they're coming out with Shadow Warrior 2 on October 13th, and they're going to have cooperative play for the campaign. Full-on cooperative play through the whole goddamn thing. None of this, you gotta finish half the fucking campaign before you can do anything.
Right?
And then one of you can complete the quest. Shit, the Far Cry is pulling on us.
Yeah, that. Oh.
It looks phenomenal. They've added in parkour and stuff. It's been so long coming, and they've taken their time. I've watched the release videos that they've made for it, and it just looks phenomenal. And fun fact, Shadow Warrior Classic is available for download on Steam for free.
For free?
So that could be a fun little Shadow Warrior intro for you. Really, all that changed from that to the main PC version that I've played. I think it was an '09 release or something. Would be graphics. The gameplay is still just hack and slash, fuck demons up. Kill
what?
Shit.
Who is releasing it? Do you know? As far as the new one.
I don't, but Johnny heard your question. I'm sure he'll answer. He's actually much more informed on Shadow Warrior 2 than I am.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah. Also, yes. Hopefully, no more falling 3 feet and dying. That was another really big sticking point in the first one. You would fall tiny amounts and you take massive damage. And you're like, what the fuck? I just took a fireball to the face from a demon. It was like, ha ha ha, I'm Big Wang. But no, the falling 3 feet is a problem. Okay, game. And the developer is Devolver Digital.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was, even though it technically would be related to EA, I was hoping that the same people that did Mirror's Edge would do it, cause.
Ooh, Mirror's Edge is pretty great. Yeah. I'm pissed though. I just got it again, and it would not go above 30 FPS, and it ran like absolute dog shit.
I had that problem for some time too. And this was a while ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Correction on Shadow Warrior 2. Publisher is Devolver Digital. Flying Wild Hog is the dev.
Ah, okay. I don't think either of those, as far as I know, aren't related to Mirror's Edge. But
Okay.
because if you want to follow the footsteps of making a good parkour game, that's
Right.
kind of a good one to copy. Like
Yeah, the first time I played it, it played and ran flawlessly. So it must just be some
I had
settings in the
I had
front
that
end that I
issue
need to
too, and I
change.
don't like I honestly don't remember what the fix was or what. But yeah, I
It's gotta be
remember.
something minor like turning off VSync or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
because I remember playing it and just absolutely loving it, and then not playing it for a long time, and then suddenly it ran like crap.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm not
like
sure on that.
I'm fairly sure I purchased it the second time around too because I liked it so much the first time.
Yeah, I always loved it. I always thought it was a great game. Um,
Yeah, I did buy it on Steam. I've played 41 minutes.
yeah, it's a little. When I bought it, it was 19.99, which isn't for a full released game. That's not bad.
Yeah,
Um, but I do remember that I still thought it was a little short. Like,
yeah,
like the
that's
full
short.
the full game. I mean, it doesn't take you no time at all, really. I mean, it's a 4-hour game, 4 to 6 hour game in one sitting. I think, if I remember right. You could.
Yeah, but I would give it some solid replayability because
Oh
there's
yeah,
so
yeah.
many options with the parkour and stuff.
Oh yeah, I
You got
100% agree
different
with
routes
that.
to take, different ways to deal with the enemies, all
Yep.
that.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with that. I just think that it was borderline. Even with the
Yeah,
replayability, I was like, man, this is kind of a short game for $20. Like, and I mean, granted, that was half price of normal games at the time, and then it's a third of the price of a game now. So I shouldn't be complaining too much. But I don't know. It seemed just a little short, but still, I mean, a fantastic game.
yeah, whole shitload of fun.
Well, I mean, Al fun, yeah, sure.
Sorry, I managed to drop a whole bunch of gravel on myself.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I guess it'd be fun to see how Shadow Warrior turns out, and
Oh yeah. I'm very very hopeful because Shadow Warrior One is so much fun, even with me being lost like 2/3 of the time that I'm playing.
right,
I am not even exaggerating that.
I I believe you.
Um, Johnny and I actually just discussed last night. I'm gonna do a stream where he actually just guides me through Shadow Warrior because I'm so fucking bad at navigating. Hey, Liam, go fuck yourself. Worth mentioning also, Shadow Warrior 2 is only $39.99 and has a real bonus for pre-order, which is 10% off for the pre-order and becomes 20% off for the owners of Shadow Warrior 1. So,
And you just said you could get Shadow Warrior 1 for free, right?
no. Shadow Warrior 1 meaning the recent PC release, not the original PC
Oh,
release.
I was
So the
like,
PC
wow,
release
how
that
are
you have
they
to pay for.
tracking that? Like, damn.
Yeah, no, the PC release that you pay for gets you the 20% off,
All right.
which is really cool because they're actually giving you a bonus for pre-ordering instead of just some bullshit in-game thing that you're going to replace immediately.
Here's a skin that we thought was really ugly, but and knew that we wouldn't be able to ever sell it, so we'll make it
Uh,
pre-order.
my favorite my favorite is in No Man's Sky. They give you a ship, and I'm like, sweet, it's called the Omega blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And I replaced it like an hour after I claimed it.
God damn it.
I was like, why the fuck would you even give this as a bonus? That's not a bonus.
I forget
But
that
yeah,
when
no.
I go in the
Yeah,
Nether, I come out of your portal. But yeah, I
it
agree. I 100% agree with you that that kind of shit is just annoying.
is.
Like, don't unless it's something exactly that I'm gonna use for. I'll even put a third of the game. A third. If I can use it and it stays relevant for a third of the game, fine.
You know
But
what? I'm actually gonna cite the Borderlands Gearbox gear that they give you for being part of the Premier Club or whatever for owning basically all the Borderlands shit.
mhm.
Whenever I start a Borderlands game, I always start with a SMG and pistol. They're called the Gearbox somethings. and they're pretty decent. You can use them instead of any of the loot that'll drop for a good 10, 15 levels.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like if it lasts for a good chunk of levels, or a decent amount of a story through the storyline of a game, or something, fine.
Yeah,
But if you're replacing it within 5 minutes of even opening your third loot box ever, then fuck off.
yeah, that's not a bonus.
No.
And Johnny,
If,
what's this about a chainsaw katana?
oh,
Yeah, that piqued my interest very quickly because I apparently missed a chainsaw katana.
how did you miss that?
I don't know. Maybe I missed the video or something.
Oh, fair enough. Well, either way, they are rewarding you for your,
Ah,
I guess, loyalty. How does loyalty
yeah.
sounds good?
I'll roll loyalty, and the chainsaw katana comes with the deluxe edition of Shadow Warrior 2.
Ooh,
Right.
I have to look into playing that.
I'm planning on taking October 13th off of work,
Perfect.
depending on when the release is that day, like what time of day
Yeah.
it's whatever. Because I am definitely gonna go run the shit out of that co-op campaign with Johnny.
There you go.
It is already decided.
You have to let me know.
Yeah,
I
we'll do,
will.
and I'm sure I'll be streaming it.
I would hope so.
Yeah, that kind of covers these Shadow Warrior bits. I'm sure I'm gonna keep on sprinkling it in.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. In other news, go over some of our cheap shit for the week.
Yes. Everybody likes cheap shit.
Everybody likes cheap shit. So I took a look at the cheap stuff for the week, and one thing that really stuck out to me is it's half off right now on Steam. It is called Screen Cheat. Now, if anyone growing up since I would say in 64, because multiplayer games on the Super Nintendo weren't that intensive. Until you got 4 players, it didn't really matter. But anyone growing up with brothers, cousins, friends, whatever, you had all 4 controllers on your N64, and I will retouch on a phenomenal game, GoldenEye, and you had all 4 people playing, and you called out people that were screen looking. Now, granted, you're all on one screen. It's gonna happen. If you're all on the same screen, I'm sorry, but there aren't a lot of measures that you can do to prevent it. I mean, aside from being completely, I guess, honest, that it's just not gonna work. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. But so Screen Cheat is a game that is absolutely entirely centered around looking at the other screen. Now, if you're playing it multiplayer on a LAN, then it just becomes astronomically more difficult and yet that much more fun. It's just your basic, GoldenEye, Halo, whatever your favorite 4-player deathmatch game is. And I think it actually can do more than 4 players, but you just start in a map, and you choose what gun you start with at the beginning of each life, and then you play to however many, but you're completely invisible. So the only way that the people that are shooting at you or you're shooting at somebody else is to either see them shoot at you and miss, or if you're playing locally with a couple people, is to look at their screen. The maps are very vibrant, but they're like color coordinated. So like one section of the map is all like really blue, another one's red, yellow, and I think green are the 4 main colors of the maps. But I've watched quite a few videos of it played, and I absolutely think that, along with a couple other games, probably would be the best drunken party game ever. It would be a little bit difficult, I think, to run it from a PC for the party game, but I'd still be worth giving it a shot because it'd be fun as hell. So, but that is $7.99 on Steam right now. I believe that is a midweek madness deal, so that will be over on Thursday afternoon. noon Central Time, I believe. And then what else? Lords of the Fallen. I know I haven't had a lot of experience in the game. I have heard it is very good. If you have a PlayStation and are a PlayStation Plus member, it is free right now on the PlayStation 4. So I've already purchased it. I hope to play it here in the next week or so. So hopefully I can come back with some details on that next week. And then also for PS Plus members, this is a game I have played, Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. Probably not the best one of the Prince of Persia games, but definitely a good one. So I would definitely recommend it. Again, if you are a PS Plus member, then I mean it's free, so why not? Is how I look at it. And then I think that's it. There are no new games for Xbox Gold that I haven't already mentioned in the last show. I know a new one drops on the 16th. I'll have to look at what that one is. I just know that that's the cycle date for that. I think they're... I want to say maybe I did look at them and maybe I just didn't notice which... I can't remember which one it's for, but I know there is a good game. I want to say for the one that is coming out soon, or starting the 16th, it'll be free if you are an Xbox Gold member. Otherwise, not a lot going on Steam or Amazon or anything. All the usual places that I check weren't too hopping with deals. I would say the best ones this week would be, or well, this month technically, would be the PlayStation games. They are both very good games, highly rated, and obviously, I think Lord of the Fallen is still a $29.99, I believe, and Prince of Persia is a $19.99. So $50 worth of games for free, you really can't complain too much. So I would definitely recommend a checkout of those. And yeah, that is the deals of the week. Now I'm done with my deal spiel. What else? Yeah. Are you there? Am I... Womp, are you there? Did I lose you?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, shit. I must have accidentally muted my mic. Well.
Have you been talking this whole time?
I was wondering why you weren't responding.
God damn it.
Yeah. My mic's too easy to mute. Like, I twitched my shoulder to itch my chin, and apparently that muted me.
Oh.
Awesome. I feel like I've seen Lords of the Fallen on Steam.
I have too.
And it's definitely caught my attention.
Yeah, that's where I was too.
2 cents on that.
And then have you ever played any of the Prince of Persia games?
No, I haven't. They were all on console, and the console doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
Not me.
Well, no, they're on Steam, I'm pretty sure.
Were they?
They are now, I should say.
Okay. Well, at the time that they were.
Oh yeah.
I cared enough to play them. They were on console, which I didn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't even get an N64 until I was like 13.
Yeah. No, I see your point. But yeah.
But, they do look like fun. They look really cool. They're a great concept. It looks
Yeah.
like you're just Aladdin, except in a video game.
Essentially you are.
Minus Jasmine in a booth.
It kind of, to me, Prince of Persia was, because let's say I think late '90s is when they started. I want to say.
Yeah.
I guess for lack of a better term, they were the Assassin's Creeds of the '90s. If you were to quantify it with a more recent game to just kind of give people an idea, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I'd equate it to that. That's not too far off.
Yeah, somewhere in that general, I guess, idea of games that are out there, I would say.
General category?
Yes, general category. There we go. But yeah, I think they're phenomenal games. So.
Yeah. I do remember people being just super duper excited about them.
I know there's one or two that were lower grade, I guess. Well, I mean, it's the same. Actually, it's exactly the same thing as like, what was it, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, or was that the good one after the
No,
bad one?
oh, after. Are you talking about after Black Flag?
No, 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 no. There, because before Black Flag, there was like just an absolute shit one.
Oh, Liberation or something. It's like a little 20-minute DLC or some shit.
Yeah, that just
After the
was
American Revolution.
terrible. Oh, I don't remember
Yeah.
what it was about, but
Let me see if it's the one that I have because I think that it is Assassin's Creed. Oh wow, I have a lot of Assassin's Creed.
it's a popular game. It's a good
Yeah,
game.
it was Assassin's Creed Liberation, and I have played 5 minutes,
Yeah, well,
so it
yeah.
must have been bad.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember which title it was. I just know that there was a really bad one, and then they kind of brought it back with. I want to say. I know Black Flag was pretty good, but I feel like there was one before that really brought it back. Otherwise, just people just talk non-stop shit about it. Otherwise.
Well, AC3 was fucking awesome. Brotherhood. That was a damn good game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like 1, 2, and 3 were all phenomenal games, and then it was I want to say it was that one that I'm trying to think of that was just junk, and then they brought it back with I think Black Flag and a different the name I can't I don't
Syndicate.
remember. Yeah, Syndicate. There we go.
The London one.
And that one was really good too. So I don't know.
Nah.
Again, my fact checking has been on point. Although that kind of came out of nowhere, so I can't really take blame for that one.
Yeah,
Um,
that did come out of left field.
but yeah, so those are the cheap games for the week. At least I'd say the top 3 of the ones that I found, which whatever. Oh, did you have any input on Screen Sheet since you were
I did, but I wasn't sure if we were gonna go back and cover it or not. Yeah, me and my brother used to just fucking tape a piece of paper to the TV.
Oh,
down the middle.
you were hardcore, huh?
Yeah, we cut the side off one of my dad's beer boxes and taped the grain belt to the middle of the screen.
I mean, whatever you got to do.
Dude, we were. I didn't trust him any farther than I could throw him, and he definitely didn't trust me any farther than I could throw him. So yeah.
Yeah.
We both knew we were cheaty bastards.
Yeah.
And so was the other one.
I know, especially when I mean, it's one thing. Like, I mean, your GoldenEye maps and stuff, they were a lot smaller. So,
Right.
I mean, the
It's
chances.
to memorize exactly where you were.
Yeah, I mean,
Made screen peeking so much more deadly than it does anymore.
well, what I was gonna say is like, now, granted, I feel, I feel like we talk about GoldenEye every week, and I really don't try to. I love.
Got to get shoehorned in.
I absolutely love the game, but and granted, as Womp can attest to, I am on a different level, and to me, after so much playtime, screen peeking just didn't matter. It was understanding the map and like. Unfortunately for some, knowing like spawn points and just a general idea of what was going on in the multiplayer game, that it just really didn't matter. And
yeah, I'll agree. While screen peeking can be extremely detrimental to whoever is getting screen peeked on,
yeah,
it also is negligible to a really experienced player.
yeah, that's exactly it. I absolutely agree. To a point, it is good until your skill level gets to a point where it actually doesn't help you, and in some cases
it's actually more detrimental to me to try and watch you, because while I'm trying to watch you, you come and ass ram me and I'm dead.
Exactly. Well, that, and I mean, after a point, like depending on the map, again in GoldenEye's case, there's only 1 or 2 maps where I'll get lost still, but that's just because they're confusing as shit. And if I try to screen peek, I'll actually confuse myself more, and then usually get shot in the back of the head because I'm completely and totally turned around. Whereas if I just play my game, then well, everyone else is fucked. So, and that's putting it very nicely.
Everyone else is bent over, no lube when you play.
I know.
No lube, no warning, no nothing, just boom in.
Oh, why am I already dead? Oh, Calvin's behind me. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Calvin.
Oh, there. Oh, there he is again. I think I hit him once. Oh, I'm dead.
Did I get him? Did I get him? Nope, I didn't even come close.
But yeah, but yeah, that's. I think it's I guess I think it's a phenomenal concept for a game to be based off of. Like,
Yeah.
and like watching gameplay of this game, it was really cool.
It's
But
a really hilarious concept.
oh, it is phenomenal. Like you are invisible. Like you cannot see the other player at all. And
I love that.
even when you shoot, all you see is the bullet or like the blast of the gun, because a lot of the guns are like a blunderbuss and like a hand cannon and like stuff that makes a lot of noise or a lot of visual effects.
Right.
And
Not a lot of noise.
or like a bouncing grenade that has to like bounce 3 times before it goes off. So you get like a general idea.
The tools to find people without.
Yes. So even if you can't screen peek, like how it's kind of made to be played, and you're playing it,
We're playing on hard mode.
yeah, you're essentially turning it into hard mode with you and your friends, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
like at one point, I think the video I was watching, at one point because they were playing network, they weren't on the same screen, and they just one of the guys literally grabbed, I want to say, the blunderbuss, like whatever weapon had the just widest shot range available, and sat in the corner and fired.
Just started shooting.
Just started shooting because unless someone noticed it, like it wasn't every second, like he wasn't just launching off bullets, but unless somebody noticed it, then they come and it was usually like a walk around corner, not like just a corner of a room where someone could just come in and see you shooting and you would miss, like just a corner that,
like a blind corner.
yeah, a blind corner, exactly, that someone comes around the corner, you space it out 5 seconds per shot, your chance of hitting someone are pretty good.
Right, just enough to get them interested.
Yep. Or like they hear it and they're like they hear that first one of the 5 seconds, start running that way, come around the corner, hit them right at that other 5-second interval, boom, dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of interesting concepts with the game that I really enjoyed watching. I'm thinking about buying it. I don't know if I want to yet, but
I mean, it's $8.
I mean, yeah, but my backing behind that was I don't know if it is a like online game, like
All like full online multiplayer.
yeah, like full, like just open random rooms that you can join. So otherwise it could end up just being the two of us that owned it. So which could still be fun, don't get me wrong.
But we're gonna get tired of it.
Exactly, very quickly.
That's gonna get boring real quick.
Yeah, because especially if we both go sit in the corner and wait for us the other one to walk around the corner, yeah, it's gonna get boring. But
I'm not even sure they're about this game at that point.
right, like just chatting between the two of us as we wait for both of us to die. Especially if it were
talking, no more keys clacking or nothing.
right. Hey, oh, how are you doing today? Well, you're not moving, are you? Nope. Oh, well, neither am I. Crap. So yeah, so another cool discount game. Definitely check it out if you feel the urge to. But then let's see.
That is what we had on the docket.
I gotta go over. I'm gonna go over the old school game. I know I think we kind of wrapped Shadow Warrior in this too, just because obviously it was released on DOS, so that's kind of
it's a legacy game. It gets rolled in.
a little old. But
We'd be sprinkling it all over the place.
right. So this afternoon, as I was creating our document that we follow, just guidelines of what to talk about and the different news stuff.
We gotta at least have some sort of organization. For
Yeah.
this shit show.
I actually had a hard time with our. So we have a weekly spotlight game, which is for this week's Shadow Warrior, a newer game, something that everyone might be interested or.
Either a newer game or just what catches our attention that week too. Because this week it's Shadow Warrior because it caught my attention because Johnny and I were just talking about Shadow Warrior 2 yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but for the most part, usually something on a current console or PC release.
Current relevant basis.
Yeah, and then we also do an old school spotlight game that usually is more near and dear to my heart because I am very much an old school kind of guy. And I kind of sat down and I have all my old school game, actually all my games that I own except for PS4 games, just listed so I can pull it up
Yeah.
on my phone when I'm at the pawn shop looking at a game that I'm like, oh, I
I
don't own
do
this
I
one.
already have that?
Exactly. I've ran in that too much time because I have too many double copies of some N64 games. That's just annoys the shit out of me. Um, but so I was looking through the list and I was just kind of like reminiscing on some gameplays and something that really caught my eye that I hope to stream rather soon. It's kind of up there with a couple other games that I don't stream just for the sheer fact of either difficulty or mostly difficulty of that I will die a lot and I don't find that to be entertaining.
NBA.
Um, and so I'm looking at the game is called UN Squadron. It is I think it would be considered a side scroller. I think,
Okay.
but you're a fighter jet essentially.
In the squadron. Better be a fighter jet.
What?
Better be a fighter jet if it's got squadron in the name.
Right. That I mean, you kind of equip out your plane at the beginning of the level with like your special attack, your pilot, which would give you different
Right.
choices of special attacks and different loadouts and different airplanes but it was probably by far one of, if not the most difficult game that I ever played as a child.
Right.
Yep, it just for some reason is, I mean it's difficult. It's not an easy game. Um,
Chrono Trigger was that game for me. I cannot play that game.
really?
Yeah, I'm terrible at it.
Oh, see now I love that game. Um, but so it just
Everybody does.
I know. I don't know if it was like the speed of the side scrolling or the amount of enemies. And granted, I was like 10 to 12, so obviously that does play a factor. I will be the first to say that. But I don't know if if I could have been on hard for all I know. I could have been on the highest difficulty. I don't remember, and I haven't. I own it. I think I played it once when I bought it, and then scratched the itch and put it on the shelf. Which I do a lot. I'm kind of ashamed of the amount that I do that.
Steam Winter and Summer Sales do that to me.
Oh, I
Oh
know.
my god.
Oh, I know. But yeah, so that's kind of my spotlight game. I am looking at playing it soon. And actually, to kind of segue into another topic that I have, and I know this can sometimes not be accepted among the game. I don't want to say the gaming community, and I don't want to say nerds. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that I am a nerd. But with the start of the NFL season on Thursday, am looking at playing some Madden. Like my
Natural.
my goal or my idea and thought process behind it is I want to play as many years as I can get my hands on. Hopefully from I believe the first one was 98 for Super Nintendo. And what I would like to do is
Each one.
what?
Play each one.
Well, I want to play each one, but I would pick one of the teams that was the Super Bowl team of that year and play the other.
Play their season.
Well, no, not play their season. Just one game. Just one game in each game. Like once a week, just play. I play 98. 1 week. I play 99 the next week. But I play the Super Bowl game of that year with one of the teams, and then obviously face the other Super Bowl team. I've had this idea for quite a while, actually. When I was in the process of possibly starting a YouTube channel, this was had kind of a similar concept, and I'm kind of circling back around to it because I really liked the concept. It was just how to execute it. So at this point, it would be against a computer player. Because I know you're not really about to play Madden, so.
I wouldn't be even challenge as an opponent.
Well, there's that too. If for some reason somebody, whether it be a different buddy of mine that's in town that likes those types of games or something, then I'll play a real person. Otherwise, it'll most likely be against a CP. CPU, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just to kind of like I don't know if I wanna like relive history and play as the winning team and make sure they win, or if I wanna
Play the underdogs.
play as the underdogs and then create a different outcome. I haven't decided on that yet, um, but that's something that I'm if I do it, if I can get a hold of some of the games, which I'm gonna go check the pawn shop tomorrow. Because football games are like a dime a dozen, so
Mm,
um, I'm hoping that my Sunday streams will be sports plays Sunday. So that, or at least obviously part of it, the game shouldn't take that long to play. Since it's just one game, I'm not playing like a whole season or anything. Um, but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. And like I said, it may not interest everyone, but that's fine. I'm not too concerned about it.
we're not
Um,
here for everyone.
yeah, not everyone's gonna like us. That's fine. We accept that.
Mm, it is.
But yeah, so that's just some random news, and then some other news that I am doing is I don't know if we've talked about it before. I know that myself and Womp have personally talked about it off stream, but we are looking at obviously creating a Gameslayers logo,
Yeah.
which we are open to
I
suggestions
actually
for,
haven't gotten around to it.
which is fine.
Funny.
I'm not terribly concerned. If anyone's got any suggestions, anyone watching this on YouTube or in chat right now, definitely let us know. We are open for ideas.
Jeez.
But I am also looking at, and this is the part I don't know if I have said to Womp at all. I think we obviously need a Game Slayers logo, but I think we need individual logos as well.
I'd agree with that. Just slight variations on the base logo.
Yeah, something along that lines, or you know, because at
We're
in
trying to turn this into something of a franchise, I guess you could say.
yeah, I would use that.
Our quote unquote brand.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, and I don't know if we want. I don't know if we want, something similar to whatever we decide for the Game Slayers, or if we want Game Slayers being its kind of own thing, and then we just be under that title. That's a whole bunch of semantics that we can work out at a different time.
That's future stuff right there.
Yeah. But I am in the process of creating my own logo. I hope, I would say, best case scenario, end of the month, maybe. I've definitely got some very good ideas floating around. My girlfriend Amanda actually came up with some really cool stuff this last weekend. So, because I am zero artistic skill whatsoever. Um,
I can Photoshop pretty well at least, but yeah, actual hand to paper, I got nothing.
yeah, that's about where I'm at. And even my Photoshop skills are lacking, if you ask me.
My Photoshop skills are only a product of being on D2JSP, the Diablo 2 trading forum that I put way too much time into.
Right.
Back when I played Diablo 2. Oh man.
So, but yeah, so I know we're talking about branding ourselves, or branding the Game Slayers and creating that logo, but we'd also, I think, like to brand ourselves as individuals on this. So
Yeah.
it's kind of something that I'm working towards, and I know I think before I go live, I'll obviously share that with Womp, and whether he wants to do something similar, or his own completely different thing, and then wherever we land on the Game Slayers logo as well. But those are all things that we're looking to do in the near future. But obviously, it's not really a terrible rush for us. But so that's where we're at with those. I know that kind of ends what we have listed as far as
I've actually
our.
got one more thing that I.
Oh, by all means.
So, talking about these old school games made me start thinking, which happens every once in a while, about playing through on PS2, since you've got one, Ratchet and Clank Dead Zone.
Okay.
That is one of my all-time favorite games.
Okay.
I played through it quite a few times with my brothers, and you mentioned the pawn shop, made me think of it, and it was like, yeah, us playing through Ratchet and Clank Dead Zone would be fucking awesome.
All right. I'll look forward to tomorrow.
Did you ever play any of the Ratchet and Clank games?
One, I think.
Okay.
One or two. I know I didn't finish them. I think. My because Ratchet's he's a raccoon or what kind of animal? He's a different kind of. He's an animal.
Ratchet is some sort of, I don't know. He's a cross between a raccoon and a
Like
meerkat.
meerkat. Yeah. My
Clank is a little egg-shaped robot.
this is gonna sound terrible. My furry friend at around those times was Sly Cooper. Played a lot of those games, so I think I just never really got into Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I suppose same era, different games.
Yep, pretty much.
Very different styles.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what it was. Is Ratchet and Clank wasn't quite my style, whereas like the puzzly, type that was Sly Cooper was just more appealing to me. Not to say either was a better game. They were both franchises were phenomenal. It was just that's just what I chose. So, but yeah, I'm down. I'm always down. I'm actually.
Oh, yeah.
I want to.
If you end up picking up, I'm happily willing to throw down on that.
All right. I will let you know how much it is.
It is a very Borderlands-esque game, I guess, now that I've thought about it and I have something to compare it to that I love so much. And it is very Borderlands-y. Kind of Borderlands-y mixed with a little bit of the Darksiders games because there are puzzle aspects to it every once in a while.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I think that was, and I'm just gonna think about this more. I think that a general concept of video games in the late '90s were to have puzzle aspects because you look at God of War, completely just hack and slash, kill everything in your way, but then you'd get a point where you'd have to, whether you just had to climb and not get hit by fire at a certain interval, or
make sure that you had certain timing down. Right?
Yeah, or had to push lever 3, then lever 1, then lever 2, shit like that. But I feel like late '90s games and even early 2000 games just had that aspect of it, and I really like that. And
they were good aspects.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Do you like problem solving?
Well, I get not that I don't know why I liked that aspect. I don't know why they did that.
Because it was such a hit with the players. That's why.
That's true. That's true. I'll agree. I wonder what, to look back at that era and just see. I wonder what was the first game to drop it like that.
I couldn't tell you. My instinct is Chrono Trigger, but that might just be because it's such a massive game in and of itself.
I don't know. Because it was widely followed for quite a while after. Obviously, it must have done good for somebody.
Yeah.
I just don't know what that game, that Patient Zero game was that was hey, we got a whole bunch of reviews saying that everyone liked this feature. Let's put it in every game that we make.
Yeah.
But
they nailed it.
Yeah, they did. That's exactly it. That's why I would be very interested to see what was the first game, to see if it was a big name game or it was a smaller game that just did way better.
A random little game like Final Fantasy that ended up blowing up for no reason.
Right.
Final Fantasy was called Final Fantasy because they were planning on, that company was going under, and they planned on it being the last game that they ever released.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be their golden egg.
Right. I can talk about Final Fantasy all day too.
I don't know anybody within our general age range that hasn't played at least a little bit of Final Fantasy. Everybody's got at least one Final Fantasy under their belt. 2 and 3 in the U.S. or 3 and 4. And then there's 7.
And then 7.
Huge around the world.
Yeah, 7 was phenomenal around the world. 9 was decent, still had quite the following.
And then wasn't 11 big too?
10 was huge.
Okay.
10 actually, just because it's newer and more people are playing it, I would say 10 is more popular than 7 to a point. I would say overall, if you ask somebody, hey, what is your favorite Final Fantasy? If they're in our age group, they're most likely gonna say 7.
Yeah.
I would put money on it. Myself, I'm gonna say 4. 4 in the U.S. is by far my absolute favorite Final Fantasy. I honestly cannot tell you why. I love that game. I've beaten 7. I have beaten 5 in the U.S. or 3, I guess. And I hate that. I hate how there was some release in Japan, then they got ported to the U.S. and had different numbers. Um, but I've played 4, 5. No, I've played 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2. Don't ask. And then I have played 13, I think. I believe 12 or 13. I can't remember which one it is. I've played all of them, start to finish. I've beaten the final boss, in credits, seen it all, and I can say with no like real rhyme or reason, the 4 like all day. I will replay it probably till the day I die. Like
Mine was 2. Mine was FF2 on fucking Game Boy.
yeah, like everyone has like
Everybody has their one Final Fantasy.
yep,
That they just
everyone has their Final Fantasy game that they absolutely love, and why I don't know. Why some people like why the world.
follow. Thank you for the follow.
There you go.
Give that one in a second.
Why? I guess why the world just completely and utterly dropped everything for 7. I really don't know. Like,
Was that the first one with decent graphics?
I mean, for the time, yeah, but I guess in comparison to kind of bring it to something we've already said. I mean, Sonic had better graphics.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, close.
it was your blocky 3D, like your GoldenEye characters, how they looked. I mean, that's how they looked in that game. Which is, I mean, it's the same generation. It's PlayStation 1 and N64. That was the same gen console. So I mean, it's not like they would be that far off. But it just baffles my mind. Like, now, granted, the story was phenomenal. It was very good. I will never argue that fact. Story was, I think, plays a very large part in why it was so well received. But I can never put my finger on why it was as big as it was.
I think that's a deeper psychological issue than either you or I are qualified.
Right, right.
Handling.
Like it's weird to me, and it's weird to me why I think that 4 is like my favorite. Like, I mean, it wasn't even the last one for Super Nintendo. It wasn't like it was. You know, this again, story is great, but that's a constant in all of those. I mean, the story is always great. But I can never put my finger on it. And it really annoys me. But like, why I like 4. I can't even say that it was my first one that I picked up because the first Final Fantasy game that I played was actually 5. So I don't know. It just. And 5 was really good too, but as soon as I played 4, I was like, oh my god, what? Where have you been all my life? Like, I don't know. And then and I know I've talked about this before a long time ago, but I would say that my second favorite is 10. I was in consideration for, when I was still looking at what games I wanted to speedrun. When I was in that, 10 was one of them. The world record for start to finish a normal. There's so many different categories, but what I would consider a normal playthrough of the game, world record, 8 hours, 8 to 10, I think, somewhere in there. My
incredibly fast for a Final Fantasy game. I mean, given its speed running, but still.
Oh yeah, you don't know, yeah. Like glitch.
Those games are not short.
Yeah, well, it's funny because of Final Fantasy IV, and this really baffled my mind because I was looking at a wrong category at the time. But a normal playthrough of the game, so not getting your extra equipment or doing the extras. The normal playthrough of a Final Fantasy IV game is like 3.5 hours.
Really?
Like, oh my god. Like,
No way.
I think so. I'll pull it up right now because now I don't want to. Allegedly.
Is it
Um,
Super Smash Bros? Like, holy crap.
Please, Super Smash Bros. Speedrun is like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Speedrun.com. I think it's .com. Gonna find
Yeah,
out.
find out shortly.
Yep, it is. All right. So Final Fantasy 4. So Final Fantasy 4. Any percent. I think no 64. I don't know what some of these mean, but I know that I'm pretty sure this is the. Oh shit. I was off. It's an hour and 56 minutes and 37 seconds.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Wow.
That was 18 days ago. I love reading this
Really?
shit. I really do. Yeah. U.S. player Neerum posted that 18 days ago. I want to look at Final Fantasy X now that I'm here. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X PS2, because they did re-release it on the 3 and the 4 recently. Any percent is held by another U.S. player, Karkaran. 10 hours and 16 minutes.
Oh.
See now this is where I would have loved to have done this and would have hated myself for doing it at the same time. Is Final Fantasy X has what is called a nemesis percent. So in the game, you obviously have your full playthrough of the game, and your 10 hours. We just for a speed run. And then you have in the game there's a section where you can battle, like it's literally a experience grinder area. Like you can choose what guy you battle. Like you can pick the difficulty. But in the game, to unlock those different bosses in that arena, you have to find each one of them. I want to say 10 times, but it actually might be 20.
Oh wow.
So you have to run around open world and get
Just randomly encounter them
and
all
randomly
the time.
encounter. Like obviously you know where they spawn with higher rates. If you would
Right.
like take the
hundreds
time.
of Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. And a nemesis percent speed run is 23 hours, 21 minutes, and 47 seconds.
Oh.
It
While
is.
you're on the speedrunning website, you want to check on Borderlands 2 for me?
I would love to. But yeah, so I would hate myself after I did it because it's 24 hours. But at the same time, I would love to do it, but I just can't bring myself to ruin a game, which is what because I've talked to some speedrunners and they tell you you pick a game that you don't ever want to play again. At least
Never mind.
what?
Well, the Borderlands is out
Why?
because I love that game way too much, and I definitely want to play it.
Oh yeah. Never. I got this from God. I wish I remember his name. I saw him at SGDQ last year when it was in Minnesota. I didn't see him there this year. I don't remember if the game he normally runs wasn't there, but I asked him. I was like, "Hey, what is your best advice to somebody that wants to start speedrunning?" I was like, I obviously know I'm gonna have to play this game nonstop all the time. Learn the routes, whatever. And he's like, 100%. And you can ask, you'll probably get this answer from any speedrunner. He's like, unless it's a cheap knockoff shitty game that's a 15-minute speedrun, if it better not be something that you ever want to play again normally. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, what? And he asked me, he's like, well, what game was? I was like, well, are either considering Final Fantasy or GoldenEye, and he's like, yeah, don't. He's like, you will never be able to play that game again with the same enthusiasm or the same mindset of not going as fast as possible.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it would change the way you think about the game.
yeah, I was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't. And I was at that time, I was actually really far into learning the GoldenEye routes, and I started to exactly see what his point was. I was like, holy shit. God damn it. all right, well, there goes that idea. Like,
Right.
I mean, you think about it. You sit down to learn how to run, like, take that Nemesis percent for Final Fantasy X. Your first run is gonna probably be 36 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you're just
that's so much time invested right there.
yeah,
And that's not even like a legitimate speed run.
like that's your first like what, and that's even after you've probably tried doing it a couple times that you weren't actually like keeping track of the time. You were just trying to do it. But your actual first probably time, so you get your like splits down for the different areas. You're probably, I think the thing that I read from one of the guys that did it, his first time run that he ever did was 36 hours. I was like, how? I was like, I love playing video games. I don't think in my life I have ever played for more than probably 20 hours at one time.
I've done 24, but yeah, any longer than that, I can't sit anymore.
Well, my problem is like I can't. There are just certain games that I can't. I can't just keep playing. Like I would be so ADD when it came to the games that like, and I have a banner right now on every stream that says after at my first 100 followers I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream, which I'm gonna do. I can't promise that I'll ever play a game longer than an hour, and I may go through a shit ton of games, but I'm gonna do one.
Yeah, well, that 24-hour stream, I'll jump in on too.
Well,
Make it
yeah.
easier for me. Yeah.
I mean,
Shit,
even if
I'll probably actually for that 24-hour stream, might not be a terrible idea for you to bring your rig over to my place since my internet's way better.
yeah. Well, I don't know if it would, but then would it benefit us if we're both there though? That's where I would kind of, I'd be a little, I'd be a
I
little
don't know.
iffy about it.
I mean, I suppose I could try streaming from Liam's computer and mine at the same time, see what the
Like I would just be
internet
interested about.
looks like.
I understand exactly what you're saying. But yeah, I would definitely. I have already told myself that once I hit hour 20, I will start drinking. And so that last 4 hours is gonna be real interesting.
Yeah,
But
that's the point when you start getting delirious and you start hearing noises that aren't really there anyway.
yeah, you might as well explain it that you're drunk instead of just being crazy.
You might as
Um,
well get drunk because it makes a crazy funner.
exactly. And so, but yeah, I'm all for it. I really want to do one. I think 24-hour streams are really cool. I've watched quite a few, and it's really cool to watch somebody. And at least I think I can do this. Be dedicated to not only the game and what you're playing, but just be there for the people that are watching you, just interacting with them. And I think that's what makes it easier is being able to interact with the people that I would assume, hopefully, with 100 followers are in the chat. I can't guarantee that, but I would hope that there would be a couple people in there, even if just a chit chat with or whatever. But
Right.
it would be a lot of fun, and that's where I'm at with it. Like I want to do one. I want to play, and obviously I'm gonna take breaks and stuff, but I'll always like bathroom breaks and food breaks. But I'll
So
always
your bathroom is like
10,
5 feet from your computer.
yes sir. But so yeah, I'm excited to do it, and I have a couple of games that I will definitely be playing that take a good amount of time to play, so it'll make it easier to do.
Right.
But
If you don't have to switch games and shit.
yeah, like I think that I'll get to a point where, especially the games that I'm thinking of, don't end up taking as long as I would hope. Or if I rage quit, depending, that is always a constant threat with me. But I know I'm gonna get to a point where I'm just like, oh my god, all right, I need a new game. 10 minutes later, okay, well I don't really want to play this game anymore, so I'm gonna go to this game. 20 minutes later, God, I hate this game. Well, I don't know why I switched to that one. Like I know that I would say by probably I'm gonna say 15. I'm gonna by about hour 15 because I know the first 12 will go by great. Like I'm gonna depending on if we're streaming together right away, like for the whole time or whatever, like some payday or something, just kill like 7-8 hours, perfect. Then play
Yeah.
something like start to finish that I know only takes 6 to 8 hours, start to finish. Play that. Now I'm past halfway, just cruising along, and then I'm gonna hit a wall, and I'm gonna be like, God, now what game do I play? Like, all right, let's try this one. Oh my god, I forgot how much I sucked at this game. Nope. All right, let's try this one. Oh man, this game sucks too. Like I just know that's gonna happen, but it's still gonna be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it will be.
whenever I hit them 100 followers, I am. That is the plan. That is the plan, and it's gonna be phenomenal. But yeah, so I don't know.
No, I might as well agree to the same deal. Once I hit 100 followers, I'll do a 24-hour stream of my own.
And then I can join in on that one. Probably not for all 24, but you know,
Well,
we can
yeah.
just have crazy amounts of fun. At least like if you like follow the same idea and like play payday for 8 hours. I'll sit down for 8 hour
Yeah.
paydays.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of
I'm
payday,
since we are out of
we are out of material. So we will be switching games. The talk show portion is over. I would like to say though that obviously thank you everyone for watching. So it'll be just.
I've got 4 viewers showing right now. Thank you, everybody. Johnny, especially big thank you to you because you're always here and it's fucking awesome. I really do love it.
It'll be a quick change. Switching games. I like to stop and start my stream just because the continuity of my YouTube videos, so I don't have to cut those later.
Actually,
Yes.
we should add that on as a talking point. Have you heard about what YouTube did this week?
Their change in terms of service.
You can't get money for anything that's not like Disney family friendly. Yeah.
No, that is incorrect. So I spent a lot of time reading about this because
Yeah, I looked into it because I was like, oh, we're fucked.
now, well, we can't monetize anything that we do anyway, because we don't have copyrights for the games that we play. So
Okay,
we
fair
can't try to monetize these streams. We can put them out there. That has no issue whatsoever for
Right.
people to watch, but we cannot apply for YouTube partnership. Trust me, I know this shit because I looked into it.
Oh, I do most definitely trust your word on this.
So what they did is, to my understanding, I am no lawyer, and they use some big words in the shit that I was reading. You cannot have anything that shows, like, let's say a child searches for Minecraft, and for some reason let's say my video pops up. Now, with these new terms of service, you cannot have anything that is like PG or higher. Like in that initial section. So the title of the video, the name, everything like that has to be like G rated. After that point, it can be exactly like they are now. Like right now, me talking and bullshitting and fucking and all that fun stuff. That is absolutely okay. It cannot be.
As I understood it, it was based on the whole content of the video, and they were basically demonetizing anything that had guns, swearing, like even like the image of a gun. They were there was a guy that I was watching that does like a news show. Can't remember his name, but he's the one that opens with "Hello, good morning, you beautiful bastards."
Well,
And he had a ton of videos flagged, and it wasn't even because of him swearing or anything. It was because of straight up content too.
well, and see,
Crazy.
and that's where I know that a large argument came from, because there are like news outlets like NBC and like
Yeah,
you're
and, like the BBC got hit with a couple of them.
yeah, and so I think what's going to happen is initially all these these flags are going to happen and stuff's going to come down, and then it's going to get like protested against, essentially, and then your big name producers like the ones that come to mind for me are, there's a news one that's called Vice that I know does a lot of stories that are, lack of a better term, very heavy hitting on YouTube. It's mostly like your news articles, but I know there's one where they like went into a crack house essentially and like interviewed people that are just strung out.
Crackheads tend to be.
Yeah, and then your big content producers like your Rooster Teeths and places like that. They can't. They're not. They have so much pull. It's not gonna fly for very long. Can those people change how they create content? Yes, but is it in their best interest? No. Like
Probably not. They've also got so many other
channels and sub channels and
income streams and ability. Well, they've got other options. They've got, especially big names like Rooster Teeth and stuff. They can be like, yeah, hey YouTube, fuck you. We can still make enough money to do what we do without you at all because they've got merch and stuff. So I think that if
it's
big names
that
like
one and
that
that
starts
one.
to fuck you to YouTube and such, that would definitely have an effect on this. Yeah.
Sorry, but no, I agree. No, I absolutely agree with you. Well, and again, I know a lot of a lot about this. Rooster Teeth actually has their own like platform that they release videos on before they put them on YouTube. Like they have
So
their
they don't even need YouTube anymore. YouTube is the second
now.
platform.
Now, granted, that is a subscription service for their viewers, so they still kind of need YouTube, I guess, to a point. Like now, obviously, their hardcore fans aren't going to go anywhere and are going to pay the price and get their content, but I would still say by far a vast majority of their viewers is YouTube audience. But at the same time, you cannot say that the ad revenue that they produce is not going to affect YouTube if they said, "Hey, fuck off." Like
Yeah, exactly.
like it's just not, it just doesn't work like that.
Well, think about it. At any given point, how many videos of theirs are being watched, and how many of those videos have ads that make YouTube money?
Exactly.
The numbers are fucking huge.
Well, and the problem is, I guess, on the flip side, just to be devil's advocate in this argument, your people like, let's say, like PewDiePie and even an affiliate of Rooster Teeth, the Slow Mo guys, they're family friendly. So obviously they're going to be able to keep that revenue. I just don't think it's going to outweigh the amount that the other like parts of Rooster Teeth and your the Vice channel and like some other channels that they can't be family friendly. Like to a point they can be, but
by the nature of it. I mean, shit, even CNN isn't family friendly
well,
every once in a while.
exactly. That's what I mean.
Like Syria or something, obviously there's going to be raping and pillaging.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a very it's a huge thing that they're trying to do. I get it. I really do. With your 6-year-olds that now have cell phones and are able to watch YouTube, I get it. I really do. But
They're doing the Blizzard thing right now, in my opinion.
I will always drop back to this because I know these settings are there. You can lock the shit out of a child's phone. I know how to do it. It's not hard. This is on the parents. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm not about to get in that kind of debate. But
it usually is on the parents.
It usually is. Yep. Oh yeah, I agree.
Your kids fucking fall down those stairs because you weren't fucking paying attention.
Exactly. Like, so that's where I'll be, and that's where I'll leave that because I am not about to get into that discussion. But
I'll drop it.
but yeah, I absolutely agree. I read that on Saturday and was mind blown by the fact that they were going to try and do this. I really was. It just
well, I think they're doing a Blizzard thing and they're over nerfing everything before they go and refocculate everything again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I agree. I 100% agree.
Blizzard had any overpowered character or whatever, they nerf the shit out of him and make him useless, and then the next week he's back to regular.
Yep. I absolutely agree.
So this could just be a temporary hiccup in the whole YouTube machine.
I hope so. I really do because I would hate to see even your small people, not even your big name companies, because I think they'll do fine no matter what. But some of your smaller producer and content creators that are out there that rely. I mean, there are people that make their living off of YouTube, and whether
that we got to worry about in this instance.
Well, yeah, and whether they are, whether it's some chick doing makeup tip videos, or some dude that relies on a method of communication or his entertainment that is swearing and even if I don't want to say guns because that's kind of a smaller niche, I would say, but like just they're dependent on those things that are now, I guess, for a better word, blacklisted. I mean, you're taking someone's job away from them. Like that, which is obviously way more relevant today than it was even 5 years ago. Like full-time YouTubers was not a thing 5 years ago.
Full-time YouTubers was a joke back then.
Exactly. I think I would say your full-time YouTubers, I guess, depending on what kind of content you were looking for, was around, but it just was not as large. Or I dare I say it as easy as it is now. Like a high-quality camera is $200 compared to $800 it was 5 years ago. So
yeah, well, I mean, even your average iPhone, my iPhone 4
yeah,
had a 8 megapixel, 4 megapixel camera,
yep,
which took baller ass pictures. I mean, even just that is enough to get decent enough quality.
yep, exactly.
It's not a potato anymore.
Exactly. So I mean, there's obviously different industry changes that have happened that have made it a lot easier, and I think that depending on how this plays out, I either think that there's going to be a large switch to not necessarily Twitch as their option. I know there's a couple other options out there that kind of cater more towards videos compared to actual live streaming. But I think there's going to be a significant backlash to YouTube that I don't know if they're expecting it. I don't know if the backlash is going to outweigh necessarily the less pissed off parents. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know if the if the pros are going to outweigh the cons. Like, and it'll be interesting to see what the outcome of finally is. But
that is another wait and see for us. We got quite a few of them this week.
I know, man, we're just rocking out these topics. Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, again, yeah, it's just another thing that we'll see what happens, and I agree with you that I think after I give it a month, and then YouTube's gonna be like, oh shit, what the fuck did we just do? Like,
guys, we fucked up.
Guys, flip it back, flip the switch back. Like
Flip the switch.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna end up happening, and I think that the fallout could be pretty bad for YouTube.
Yeah, I think it could. I think it could definitely be significant.
I hate. I think it would be interesting to see, because obviously YouTube is owned by Google. I mean, I think it would be interesting to see if they had like a. Man, I don't. Well, I'll coin it this way. They have a PG-13 rebranded type of YouTube that they branch off from this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't
like a YouTube, because that sounds like a porn site.
Yeah, exactly. That idea, but I don't think they will at all. I really don't. I mean, I think the time and effort it would go into doing that, and people having to switch how they market their channels and stuff.
Yeah, people are already too set with YouTube. I don't think adding a secondary one would do any better.
I think the concept would have been good to start 10 years ago.
So it came side by side by YouTube and didn't just get
exactly. But
yeah,
I think what they're doing now is not going to last, and we'll see that in the coming months that this decision to do this was just not a good idea. But yeah, so now that we've rehashed the end of our show, I will say that we'll be switching to Payday. I believe that's what we're doing, right? We'll play some Payday. I do want to let everyone know again, just reiterate, we do have the option, if you ever agree or disagree with our fun topics that we cover, or just want to say hi.
Yeah, you can feel free to hop in. We got the Discord going. We can happily invite you.
Yeah, we are always down. Always down.
Show.
It's fun.
Feel free to pop in and talk with us, man. No, we're open to it.
And then obviously we do this every week, Tuesdays, 7 o'clock. We sometimes have less content than we did tonight. Sometimes we have more. But
we usually shoot for roughly an hour's worth of content.
Yep. And then obviously, if we fall short, I usually rant for like 10 minutes and then cover up the last 10 minutes of the
We've
time
always
frame.
got something we can rant about
Oh
and
yeah.
rehash.
And
Do
then,
that.
but yeah, so hit us with a follow. Follow us on Twitter and
Yeah, we are also on Twitter at SC Gameslayers. We haven't really been active much, but we are going to get that going on too.
again,
We obviously blast on Facebook every once in a while. That's how
mo-
we got a couple of people in here.
more
So,
future things. But yeah, so hit us with a follow. Come check us out every Tuesday.
and we usually stream most nights of the week anyway too. One of
Yeah,
us is
for sure.
almost always streaming nightly.
Agreed. But yeah, so I'm gonna stop start. I don't know if you do that, but
I'm gonna
um,
stop there.
do a quick stop start. If you need to go, definitely feel free. Otherwise, stick around. You unfortunately may have to watch an ad or two, and well, one, but yeah,
We will be back very shortly.
very shortly.